I know, guys, has been a minute since our last one, so I'm super excited to bring those backs. That's because this is how um we make the right vibes, right? And it's a way for us to listening to your feedbacks, and it's also a way for yourself to know more about what's happening behind the key in the kitchen, right? For the one that are new on the Discord, I know that there have been many new members joining lately. I am Antonio. I'm Chef Antonio. I am the 2023 Master Chef winner. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a chef. I'm a game developer. I'm the co-founder of Crown Chaser, together with Nicole, my co-founder. I'm pretty sure that you know her because she's like everywhere on the Discord, always, supporting and spilling the spoilers. And just one spoiler was not enough, so we decided to have another one in the team, and this is where Super Dope comes in, right? So lately, I think that you started noticing him, active in the community, and even also if you are on other community as well, specifically about gaming or NFT, perhaps you ended make a game night or an MA with him as well. So first off, Nicole, how are you today?
I'm doing great, doing great. How are you, community? Are you ready to cook?
Awesome. Yeah, I think that they're gonna love what we're gonna share here in this ask me anythings. Super dope. What about yourself, my man? I know it's early, but early birds get the worm, right?
That's right. That's right. Let's ready. I'm ready to go, man. I mean, we've been holding all this close to our chest for a long time, so it's nice that we finally get to share all the sweet plans and everything we've been cooking with the community.
Awesome. Yeah, there is actually a lot to say in this ask me anythings, and I think that it's gonna be packed with a lot of information that can be or can be not extremely helpful in place some member of the community, but in general whoever is interested in what we're building, and I know you guys, you are in finding the best information to understand what's going to happen, right? But before jumping into the main show, which is of course the new um, things that we are doing now with the mint details and the benefits for the Royale key holder, I want to take just a couple of time to introduce ourselves properly to the one who doesn't know about us or our story, right? So Nicole, do you want to start it?
Thank you for the mic. So, basically, guys, we have been developing games since 10 years, and maybe not many of you knows it, but we have released other 5 mobile games, and they were all tower defense. So as you can imagine, Crown Chaser will be a tower defense too. So it's our signature dish. And with our past title, we were able to reach over 1 billion views on TikTok and YouTube because we were among the first game studios to use TikTok as a user acquisition channel. And back days, TikTok was just a fun app where people were dancing, and we were among the first ones to bring gaming on that platform. Today, you all know that TikTok is a lot more famous than this. And basically, we have been able to reach over 50 million downloads worldwide. So we already have a good player fan base, and we can't wait to bring all our players into Web3 and make it explode.
Yeah, yes, and I think actually, all those moments that we are having with Web3 gaming about, on Twitter, everybody, you have different opinion, right? But essentially, it's either Web3 gaming is gonna make it or web gaming is dead. And I think this is, very resonating with us as of now. That's because we have seen it before when we started the game studio. Back then, mobile game was not really a thing, right? Because many studio they were starting building their first game. For sure, we had Supercell, we had King with Candy Crush and Stardew Valley, but the general gamer, right, the gamer that was user to play before, he was not seeing the value in mobiles. He was just for PC games, and even about PC game, really, it was not about having online experience, but rather single play games as Doom and such. And all those memories, all those time, it reminds me about Web3, when essentially back then, again, we had a lot of people flooding the mobile gaming industry because they were not fun, they were not interesting, and actually people were not understanding about them, right? And if you think about it, this is the same thing happening in Web3. That's because we have seen a lot of team developing really nice good games, but it doesn't seem enough. And personally, I think that we are missing that aha moment that we had with a mobile game when the freemium model, the microtransaction model has been implemented. This is something that we are looking forward in Web3 games. And man, I think that we are nailing it down with Crown Chaser. That's because, look, I believe that we are a basic team, right? So we know that it's extremely important having fun games, but we also know that having fun games is not enough. It's not enough in Web 2, it's not enough in Web 3. That's because if you don't bring your players on a roller coaster of emotion, where they get themselves challenged, they get themselves emotional, they say they get themselves gratified for all the hard grind that they are getting. It's not enough, because it's gonna get buried, and people don't like board games, right? So that's why on Crown Chaser is fun games, but it's not also fun game. Of course, there gonna be a lot to say about the game. At the moment, we are discussing, the team and the achievement that we did, and the same thing really was happening with TikTok as well. That's because when we founded our studio, if you wanted games, right? If you wanted to reach out gamers, the only way for reach gamers for a game studio was using Facebook and Google Ads. Like that was the only case. But then we started noticing that the internet was transitioning from being text based to video based. Now I know that many of you are extremely young, so perhaps you don't remember the board like V Bulletin and the forums online. But for us, the boomers, that was our source of information. Like when you were looking for something over the internet, there was no YouTube, there was no like TikTok or Reddit, but actually there was bunch of guys on forum sharing their experience, and maybe some of them was their work to talk about that topic, and this is was actually your only way to be informed on something. And the same thing was about games, right? So it's like you went on the forum and you were starting talking with people and say, hey, what have you been playing? There is something new, what you are doing, and things like that. Then with the introduction of YouTube, we started seeing more visual elements, right? So instead of you relying on a random dude on the internet talking about the game, you can actually see with your eyes the gameplay and the things that were happening inside the game. So straight on, you were able to understand if the game was for you or wasn't for you. So with our games, Master Royale and the others, we started be more active rather on sponsoring on forum. We were sponsoring them on YouTube and on TikTok. So people, instead of going and chasing the information based on a description of the game itself, they could find the game itself by seeing at it, right? And from there start straight on with the download. And this is something that back then a lot of game studio was against it. That's because usually when you have a status quo, people don't really want to change things like they are happening as now. And I think not like dope can agree with that. Like, gamers, they don't like to see website, they don't like to see like um text based stuff. It's like, show me gameplay, right? Show me the game. Don't just yap, show me something.
100%. Yeah. I mean, Nicole's like, who want to see actual gameplay? I'm raising my hand right here, Nicole. That's what it's all about. I mean, gamers just want to have fun. They want to have a good time. They don't want that cinematic trailer. They just want the game. They just want to get in, get their hands dirty. And that's what it's all about, you know? I have a question for you, Antonio. So, and Nicole. So, you guys have been making games now for 10 years. You have 5 mobile games under your belt. Oh, snap. I see Nicole's already pulling up a little teaser of the gameplay. That's really hype. So, you've been super successful, tons of views, millions of streams, tons of people playing the game. Why Web3? Why are we diving into this brand new industry here? What is the reason for that?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and it comes from our background. I see that Nicole already started, the spoiling with the gameplay and showing the game. Again, as I told you, John, a super dope. You are not only the spoiler member of the team, like, meet Nicole. She, 10 times more spoiler than you, and that's why you guys are going to get along very much. Now, coming from for your question, that's really interesting because with our background, our past title, they have been modded experience for Clash Royale, and Clash of Clans, right? So we started build mods on those games. So if you ever played Clash Royale and you have seen like some reel or video about having Shrek or Goku or SpongeBob inside those games, most probably was something that has been made by us, right? And since the modding community was so huge, we started onboarding some community member making their own mods inside our titles. And even more importantly for them was a way to start making money, even if they were not the game developers. So instead of all the value going to the studio, it was a cool way to have more people involved, and those people actually were not just doing it for for the fame or the glory, but actually they were making revenue out of their work, right? And this is, I think, web3 make the most sense, where essentially you give people the opportunity to not only being players but also being stakeholder inside your game, meaning that you are not just building a game and say to the people, okay, this is the game, have fun, we are done here, this is our job. But rather is, okay, this is like the starting game, so this is what is the version 1. Now if you are a player, cool, just play the game. But I'll say, if you are a creator, like if you want to mods and improve the experience not only for yourself but for everybody inside the community, so for cool, go and do it. Like, make new cards, make new mods, make new arena inside the game, and see people having fun and also make money out of it. That's because they're gonna be the revenue share with those creators, right? And on top of that,
Totally.
even if you are not a creator but still you are just a traditional player, of course I believe that your asset should be totally owned by yourself, right? And this is why on Crown Chaser, all the cards that you see and all the, even the arenas and some of the towers, they will be NFTs, meaning that you can play but you also can do other stuff with that, right? um Now,
And I'm sure we'll get more into that in a second. But now we have the gameplay up on screen. I'm going to ask you a ton of more questions about the Web3, the ownership. But let's explain what's going on right now on screen. For those of people who have never seen Crown Chaser before, Nicole is showing off a demo right now of our internal build. And the match is going on. Nicole is kind of dominating right now. What can you tell us about the actual gameplay, what we're seeing on screen right now?
yeah, go, Nicole. Tell us about the game and the gameplay.
Yeah, sorry, I was just too focused on my match.
Yeah, I
So
know
basically,
that.
as you can see, guys, I have a deck of cards, and I previously chosen 8 cards. Uh, all these cards will be NFT, as Antonio has mentioned it, and you can strategize your moves by basically managing this filling bar you see on the bottom. That is a mana. Each card has a cost in mana. As you can see, for example, the dragon costs 3 mana, and you basically need to wait to have enough resource to deploy your cards. The scope of the battle is to destroy all the opponent's towers while defending your ones. And of course, at the end of the match, you will be rewarded with some cool stuff. We will be talking about all the rewards later, but I can spoiler you something. Basically, when the match ends, you get a chest. And in this chest, there will be some cool stuff called Royal Points. Royal Points will be the currency that you will be gaining during all the closed alpha, and they will be converted at the end of the closed alpha in tokens. So for the first very time, guys, you will be able to earn a portion, an allocation of the CPG token. We haven't released our token yet, so it's a huge opportunity for you to pump your bags, and I can't wait to battle with you in the arena. As you can see, now we are in the extra time and the mana we're feeling faster, but because I was talking, I was just defeated. So maybe I'll start new matches while Antonio and Jonah will dive you more in details into the closed alpha details.
Yeah, that sounds like a skill issue, really. If you lose to an AI, and as always, Nicole is there, spoiling stuff about the mint, the token allocation, and everything. But let's pretend nobody heard that thing, right? Let's keep on with the with the show. Um. So yeah, guys, as you are seeing, like this is not a video. This is not like some something weird. Like this is poor raw gameplay that Nicole is playing, and I'm so proud of what the team did with the game. That's because usually on the Web3 side the focus is mainly on the opportunities and the economical value. Like, okay, let's flip NFT, let's flip token, which I guess makes sense because this is Web3. But at the same times, we believe that the game should be fun, right? Should be for players, should be enjoyable, should be something that you play because you are having fun, and also it's something that can give you, also some benefit. That's because we have been building games, but also 5 years ago we were busy with a gaming guild. We were sponsorship Axie and Pegaxi account. If you are familiar with Axie, I guess most of you are. And essentially, all the scholars that were playing in the scholarship, they were saying the same things, right? They were like, okay, we are playing this game not because we are having fun, but because we are in for the opportunities that they are bringing to our family, which makes sense, of course, because um, different players, different expectation. But then we are all see what's happened with those games, right? So if you don't have players having fun playing the game, and you don't have a community that is purchasing things inside the game, not because they want something extra, but also because they want to enjoy the rewards in sense of skins or battle passes, then it's gonna be extremely hard having a system in place that can be sustainable. And that's why I think that here we have cracking the code. That's because, as you can see, this game is something that the web 2 players, they're gonna fall in love with it because it's familiar, it's fresh, and it's also rewarding in sense of fulfilling the challenge, because it's extremely competitive. And at the same times, the web3 the gens and the web3 audience, of course, it's gonna be extremely excited about it. That's because we have been study for a long time what's working and what's not in those game economies, and we took the best out of everything and we implemented it in Crown Chaser. And even super dope, he's an avid gamer and also a web3 DJ. So it's the perfect example of the new web3 player, right? So it's the player that is in for the fun but is also in for having something extra, right?
Totally. I mean, that's what really pulled me into Web3 in the beginning. I come from, like, full transparency, guys, I come from the gaming side of things. I used to be a competitive esports player. Now maybe I'm a little washed up, but I still love the challenge. I still love getting into these games, the strategy, the depth, the competition. And that's exactly what Crown Chaser is. I mean, it's a real time PvP strategic game. And you have ownership over your own destiny, over the way you play the game. You can actually, all the value that you're putting in, whether it be time, skill, or money, you can now extract that value because you have those Web3 elements to the game also. If you see on the bottom, and the cards that Nicole was putting into her deck there, those cards like the fireball, the cyclops, the swordsman, the bow and arrow, all those characters are going to be cards, and those cards are NFTs that you are actually going to own, and you'll be able to upgrade them. You'll be able to get some crazy cool animations and cosmetics on those cards, and if you'll be able to trade them and sell them too. So, oh, there goes Nicole dropping the fireball on the tower for the win. Chef Nicole
Yeah, you
redeeming
see, when I'm
herself
not
after last
talking,
match.
I'm able to win.
You were locked in there. Respect.
Oh, fireball is my side, my last move to win and break everything.
Yeah, I love it. Secret weapon there.
Yeah, and it really depends from your play style, right? That's because personally I prefer like the Venom and the Bomber. That's because they have a lot of damage over time, which is a lot of undervalued currently. But that's okay. That's the whole point of the game. It's not like one just strategy that gonna win every time and on every card. Is something that is gonna be fitting to your gameplay and to what kind of game are you really, right? So if you are more defensive, perhaps you're gonna play more the time, while if you are more on the offensive play style, you're gonna try and hardcore destroying those towers.
100%. Yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved. A lot of it is, again, comes down to the cards that you're putting into your deck. Maybe after this game, we can go back into the card section and you'll be able to see that all the cards that are available, number one, they're going to be NFTs. So these are the things that you're going to have full ownership, full control over. Also, I don't know if I'm allowed to spoil this, but they're going to be seasonal too. And maybe we can get more into that in detail, or Antonio can share things too. But everything you see is going to be limited time and limited quantity as well. So these cards that you're seeing right now, this is like your base set of Pokemon cards. And you guys, I'm sure if you know anything about Pokemon or collectible cards, that in 2025 now, if you want to get that base set Charizard, you're gonna have to go all the way to someone who was there from the beginning, who got that base set box and has that Charizard, and it might cost you a little pretty penny. Same deal here, right? Are trying to start something generational. These cards here are gonna be around in the game forever, but not everyone is gonna have access to them. Only the people like you guys who were here first. You want to talk a little more about that, Antonio, and also the deflationary aspects that we want to bring to the game?
Yeah, Super Dope is right. Like the way how we implemented the NFT is in a way that we bring value to the collectors and to the holders. That's because, as Super Dope said, they are based on a season, right? So with every new season, the card packs gonna be replaced. The content of the card packs gonna be replaced with the new heroes characters, meaning that if you are interested on one of those cards that you are seeing now, which are season 1 cards, and let's say that we are in season 5, the only way for someone to obtain those cards is to purchase from other players. That's because in game it's not possible to obtain them anymore, right? And now it's easy to understand why they're gonna be more valuable. First off, because they comes in a limited edition. That's because there is a fixed supply every season of cards that can be minted. So once this supply is reached, no more cards can be minted anymore, right? So the only way for a new player or someone that is interested to participate in the Web3 layer is to obtain cards from someone else, from another player. The second most important thing is, even if the supply is limited, is capped, the number of cards available will be less and less. That's because in order to upgrade cards, because they have levels, you have to merge and combine two cards of the same level, and as output you receive a card of the upgraded level, which increase their stats. So the higher the cards level gonna be, the more damage they gonna do to the towers. So all the cards that now we are seeing Nicole playing, they are level 1, right? Against level 1 tower. So you can see, for example, the tower, the bomber, in order to destroy the goblin, they require 5 hits. But if that let's say that bomber was level 3 or level 4, perhaps one hit was enough. Or at the same time, if the goblin was level 4, the bomber, she had to use 10 attacks and things like that. So it's not about just the strategy, but it's also about the level of cards. And now it's easy peasy. That's because it's season 1. But let's say that we are in the season 5, in season 7, when we have the million of Web2 players that have been onboarded through TikTok, and now they want the season 1 cards. They cannot just go and purchase them from the marketplace. The only way for them to obtain those cards is asking nicely, or spending money on purchasing those cards from the existing collectors, aka you. So that's why it's important to be early in Crown Chaser. That's because the first season cards, the first cards, they're gonna be much more limited. That's because we haven't pushed the big marketing yet. So of course, they're gonna be most valuable because there won't be many going around, and even your winning bonus really gonna be dependent of the seasonability of the cards. So meaning that if you are in season 10 or season 8 and you have a season 1 card decks, your loot chances or even your token rewards from your winning victory, they're gonna be much more compared to the newer generation of cards, the new season.
And also, you forgot to mention one very important thing. These cards are just the basic version of these heroes. In fact, we will have four the different rarities, starting from the basic one, which will be not NFT, so everyone will have the chance to give a try to Crown Chaser just by having the basic deck. But the NFTs will comes with rarity. So beside the deflectionary model, beside the number of the cards that will be even less with time, you have the rarity that gives you even higher bonus when you win the match. So you will be able to get rewarded with more stuff when you have a legendary deck, for example. So the bomber, in this case, is just an example. You will have a different animation, different skins, so people will know that you have a legendary card in your deck.
Epic. So you get to flex on the battlefield. Everyone will know that you have the legendary bomber because it's going to have different cosmetics, different animations, and you're just going to be the cooler one on the battlefield at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you're gonna wreck everybody that is going your way.
Hell yeah. All right. So I mean, yeah, you've seen the cards, you've seen the gameplay, but everyone I'm sure is thinking about when can I get in? How do I get in? What how do I get access to this? We've done a few game nights in a few discords and we've had some temporary access codes that we've given out. So maybe even some of you have had a chance. I know Spygen has. We had some great matches in our last game night, and we're probably going to have a lot more game nights now, more frequently in the future, so that everyone can get their hands on the game, can get their decks together, can get strategizing, so that when we do have our something that we're probably about to talk about, you guys will already be ready to jump in and start winning matches and climbing that leaderboard. But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about our upcoming timeline and what that's going to look like? Because the next few weeks are going to be absolutely spicy.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like, guys, I think that you have noticed it now. We started cooking up something, right? We started with the collaboration, and this week, we opened the ambassadorship program for all the creators, and all of them, those activities, they are going extremely well. We have partnered up with more than 300 communities. That's because they want to be part of what we are going to announce today, and at the same time we had around 100 content creators that they want to be part of the journey too. That's because they most of them, they played the game, they understand that it's a huge opportunity for all the web 2 and web 3 players, and they want to be part of it as well. Now, all of this has a reason why, and the reason why we are doing this is because, first off, we are going to have a closed alpha. So finally, if you have the eligibility, you're gonna be able to play the game for a long time. And second thing, the closed alpha gonna have a huge meaning, right? That's because inside the closed alpha is not just about having fun, but it's also about being rewarded. And there are many rewards that they're gonna be available for grab inside this alpha. Some of them, they are more on the web 2 side, like skins, title, and cosmetic, while other, they're extremely valuable. One of them for sure is the token allocation that we are going to have as price pool. So together with the closed alpha, what we are going to do as well is a play to airdrop campaign. Now, I know that you guys have seen a lot of play to airdrop, everywhere in the Web3, and most of them, let me be honest with you, they sucks. That's because me, and everybody spend months play a game, and after spending all this time playing the game, we end up with the token allocation essentially worthless, right? It's like, okay, cool, I'm playing this game. I got, I don't know, 1,000, 10,000, or even 10 million tokens. And at the TGA, when those tokens become liquid, my allocation was worthing how much? $5, $10. So imagine spending, 1 month of your time to having this. That's why we are changing things, and the way on how we are making the play to airdrop is extremely different, and is extremely more valuable rather than your usual play to airdrop. First off, not everybody is gonna be eligible for the play to airdrop. That's mean, of course, if you have some minor element, you can still play and have fun. But if you want to have access to the reward pool and to the prize that come with it in, you need to have certain condition, right? And one of the most important condition, is that you have to get a royal pass. The royal pass gonna be announced soon. This is the what the mint is about. If you have the royal pass, then you can play the game, and also you're gonna be eligible for the play to airdrop campaign, meaning that inside the game, as you can see, this is like super extra spoiler, then are gonna be royal points. And depending on how many royal points you're gonna get, you are gonna have a share of the prize pool, right? So they're gonna be token and other things to grab. Now, depending on how many royal points you have, this is how much of the allocation you are going to get. At the same time, the royal points gonna bring you on a leaderboard, and based on the leaderboard, you're gonna have an extra rewards there too as well. That's extremely important. This is because, again, we are committed to give value to the community. We are committed to give value to you guys that you are in this audience today. That's why we decided, to vibe with the community. We decided to give this opportunity to the community, rather than, just raising a couple of million with the VC, and then, treating our community, the relationship that we have been building so far, as an exit liquidity for them.
Amazing. That is super exciting. And just to run it back again, the team has never ever dropped a single token in the history of ever, right? I mean, you guys have 10 years under your belt, multiple mobile games, never ever done a single sale, never dropped a single token. So this is really a first, and we're super excited about it too. So just to recap, the Royal Pass is your access to the closed alpha. But not only that, but it's a super, super powerful pass because just by holding it, you are getting these royal points. So the royal points are everything for this closed alpha phase because depending on how many points you have, you're going to have a spot on that leaderboard. And then, boom, at the end of the closed alpha phase, depending on where you are on that leaderboard, you are getting our allocation of tokens. And again, the two ways you get those royal points are number one, you need that royal pass, super important. You hold the pass, you get points, but also by participating in the closed alpha phase, again, while holding that pass, you can also play matches. And if you're really good, and if you're practicing like we are right now, then you'll be starting to win matches and getting royal points for every single W also. So that's another really great way to climb that leaderboard and get a really nice allocation of those tokens.
Yeah, 100%. Like as Jonah said, you have the choice here, right? You can either just mint the pass and enjoying the passive royal points that gonna give you access to the prize pool. And on top of that, of course, if you are a gamer and you have some free time, you can jump in a game, do some quick matches, and even get more extra points that they can be always handful, right? So the good thing about Crown Chaser is fitting your playstyle. If you have like 5 minutes in your day, for sure you can play the game just a couple of matches, or else you can spend a few hours. Or else if you are not a gamer but you are just interested to have exposure to the success of the project of the game, you can just grab the royal points and enjoy your daily passive incomes. That's because, of course, every royal pass holder, uh, he gonna have access to the prize pool. So essentially, the win, the victory, the rewards is guaranteed to every minter, right? So it's not like, maybe I mint and I get nothing. Instead, is everybody who is minting, everybody who is going to have the royal pass is gonna have access to the prize pool. Now, of course, the question is how much I'm going to get. It really depends, how many royal points you're gonna grab for yourself. The more, the better.
That's right. So as long as you just have the Royal Pass, even if you don't have time to play the game, which I recommend you do play the game because it's super fun, you are still going to be accumulating those points. You're still going to be climbing up that leaderboard, and no matter where you are, you're still going to get some allocation of those tokens. So as long as you just want to make your mark on the kingdom and leave a legacy there, all you need is that Royal Pass. But if you really want to start, competing and grinding, then you can work your way up the leaderboard and get an even bigger allocation of those tokens also. And we'll talk a little bit soon about the Royal Keys and how you can also give yourself a little buff to that allocation as well. But just a little spoiler, if you've seen what Nicole is doing on their screen right now, they're actually playing in this super cool game mode right now called the tournament mode. And this is something that I think is really, really exciting because, like I said earlier, I love esports. I love the competition. And Crown Chaser is all about that too. So this is a tournament mode that's built into Crown Chaser that will match you up against a bunch of different other opponents, create their own internal bracket, and that's such a cool, powerful game mode because it leaves so many opportunities for competition, for tournaments, for esports, basically. And I think esports is one of the biggest bridges between Web 2 and Web 3 because everyone is familiar with competition, right? And everyone loves to get paid for playing games really well. I mean, we've seen all these competitions in Dota, League of Legends, Counter Strike, and this is no different. I mean, Clash also has these tournaments, so now we can actually get professional gamers up in here. Maybe it'll be one of you guys competing in one of our tournaments. Another way to give some amazing prizes, to give some token allocations as well. And it's just really cool to see like the competitive scene growing and making its way into Web 3. So yeah, if you really compete here, if you really get good at the game, if you start getting those wins, you can really start accumulating those royal points and working your way up the leaderboard. And again, this is all coming very, very, very soon. We haven't announced any dates yet. Not a single time have we announced any launch date, any mint date. But maybe if we're lucky, Antonio or Nicole will grace us with something here.
Yeah, I'll let the spoiler girl do her job.
Oh, can I? Can I really say the date?
I guess can I stop you? I can't, right? So go ahead.
Yeah, you can't really. So guys, who wants to know the date? Let me see some crowns in the chat. Who wants to know the date? Let me see the crowns. Get ready, guys, because the mint is happening on 7th of April. So it's really, really close.
Yeah, is it like in less than a month actually? So really
Yeah.
close. And actually, I want just to say something about the Royal the token, right? For us, the token has been one of the most valuable things. Like if you think about Clash Royale, like that game itself, it made 4 billion in revenue, right? And with Crown Chaser, we don't want to have just players, but we want to have partners as well. So if we are able to do what Clash Royale did in Web 2, and I think that we can do it with the community and the game that we have, it means that we can make a game that is here to making 4 billion in revenue, right? Now, how much of those revenue Clash Royale shared with the community? Almost zero. For us, it's different. We are community. We are here to grow with the community. That's why we're gonna share part of our revenue with the token holder, right? So it's if let's say we make 4 billion in revenue with 20% of revenue share with the community or even more. That's very basic. We can go even higher. That means that we have 800 million of USD dollar to share with the community, not with all the community, with the token holder, with the one with the CPG. So you can understand here what we are talking about, right? This is bigger than just a game. This is bigger just having an opportunity. Those are things that for real change the life of people. Now, I'm not telling it's gonna be easy. I'm not telling this is something that is gonna happen, in a night sheet in a month. Those things gonna require years for sure. But us guys, we have been building for 4 years. We have an extremely great game. We have an active community, so we have plans for the token. We know where we want to go, and we're gonna bring all the token holders together with us. Now with the NFT, the key holders, that's another major point. That's because for sure we want to bring with you guys with us. You know how much we are committed to bring value, and that's why the Royal Key, it gonna have a really huge benefit inside our play to airdrop. Jonah, do you want to spoil something here as well? That's because I know as much as Nicole, you like to be here announcing stuff.
I'm bouncing in my chair here, man. Yeah, I get to spoil something. Let's go. So yeah, the key is going to be super, super, super important in the next upcoming weeks, especially for the closed alpha. So like I said before, the team has never sold anything. There hasn't been a single sale, but there has been one mint, one drop, and it was a free mint for these royal keys. And maybe some of you here listening are holding onto some of those keys right now. Well, good thing you still have them because they are coming in handy. When the closed alpha drops and you guys are able to get into the game, or just holding that royal pass. Like I said, holding that pass will get you some royal points. You're going to start climbing that leaderboard. You're going to start winning some games, climbing the leaderboard even higher, getting all these royal points. But if you have a key in your inventory or multiple keys in your inventory, and maybe someone can drop a link to the keys if anyone wants to speculate or pick some up before the closed alpha. Might be a good time. I don't know. No financial advice here. But those keys are going to act as a multiplier for all the royal points that you can accumulate over the course of the closed alpha. So if you do not have a key and you're accumulating points, you'll still get points. You'll still climb that leaderboard. But if you have some keys, you will actually get a multiplier on all of the royal points that you're accumulating, which might help you climb a little bit higher on that leaderboard and get some more of that sweet, sweet token allocation.
Yeah, and as Super Dope say, they stack, right? So let's say that you have one, it's a multiplier, but then if you have 20, 15, or 100, it's even more. So the play here, again, this is not financial advice, as he said, but this is what I will do it, like if I'm interested, in the token allocation, which again brings a lot of benefit. I will get as many as key. It's possible. That's because one, now they are extremely cheap, like they are so undervalued. And again, you are the first 12 people in the world, in the community, that know about the benefit of the royal key. So this is like, it's not really insider trading, because this is a public event, so everybody can gain and have access to this. Ask me anything. So it's just them missing the opportunity. So still, if since they are very cheap now, I would get as many as I can, as deal, because they're gonna have a huge, really huge benefit inside the closed alpha. Again, for us, we want to grow with our token holder, the collectors, the one that are gonna hold, because this is what we are going after. It's going after Clash Royale. It's going after the revenue of Clash Royale, and instead of Web 2, this is Web 3. So all the holder gonna benefit from that. And the way to get as much as exposure possible to this token allocation is getting the the pass for sure, but also getting the royal key, because the more the merrier. And this is a way, of course, guys, to show up for you, the community, the real one, how much we appreciate your commitment. That's because, for being honest, we could just putting those multiplier inside the game and making more revenue. But as we said, we are here to win together with the community, and not at the expense of the community. That's why we want to give a benefit to the existing holder by giving them the opportunity to be the multiplier, rather for us to be just selling those items in game. So guys, you know your worth, you know what's in the stake. You are earlier than VC, you are earlier than big funds and smart money. You have the alpha, you have the information. Now it's up to you what you want to do with those things that we said here. What I can say is that those information gonna be limited just for couple of weeks maximum. That's because all those things that we have announced here, they're gonna be shared on our Twitter, on the official page, and on the official Discord very soon. So those things gonna be known by everybody pretty soon.
Yep, but you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. So just to recap one more time for those of you who may have joined in a little later, closed alpha, we can finally talk about it now. Closed alpha is coming soon. In order to get access to the closed alpha, you're going to need a royal pass, and those passes are dropping April 7th. That's the date. Mark it off on your calendar. Take off from work. Tell your boss, tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your dog. April 7th. Just write it down, put it in the calendar. You'll be able to get that royal pass. Tell everyone. Scream it out of your window. And then getting that pass, all you need to do is just hold on to that pass and you will accumulate these royal points. You will start climbing the leaderboard, but then again, win some matches in the closed alpha, get some even more points. Get a royal key, get some even more points, and then boom, you're at the top of the leaderboard now. You're taking home all the tokens, all the allocation, and then you will have a really, really great leg up on the competition when the game launches. Kenshi invited the guild. Nice, Kenichi. Shout out to you. Again, April 7th. Do we have any more details that we can give about the mint for like the dashboard? Are we ready to talk about that yet, or is that too much of a spoiler?
Yeah, I think that it's enough, guys, with the spoiler. I mean, just left everything out of suspense for the next Twitter space and ask me anything. So for the moment, I guess that's everything. I can tell you something about the price. I cannot say the price now, but I can tell you even there the price mechanics gonna be different, right? So they're gonna be different price. So the best way to get the best value for the best money, one, grab yourself an whitelist. We are doing a lot, really a lot of giveaway. both internally and externally to get on whitelist, which gonna give the most benefit for the best deal, or else be one of the one on the 7th of April to show up on the website. That's because the price gonna be changed during the days. So the earlier you are, the best will be for your wallet and for yourself.
Awesome. Spotgen asked about the whitelist. Is there any information you can give about whitelisting? What it means to be whitelisted? How do we get our community whitelisted and ready to get that passed?
Oh well, now you guys know Jonah. He's your friendly community manager, so he gonna host almost daily. I think it's up to him on events to grab a whitelist that gonna give you access to the mint. So be around, show up on the Discord, and this is how you get the whitelist allocation. Again, guys, we have said many things, especially about the token, the Royal Pass, and the Royal Key. Now it's up to you. This is what we have been doing as a team. We have built, a very fun game. We are building a strong community. We are bringing value to existing holder, and on top of that, we are bringing value to our new coming up holders. So the world is yours. The kingdom is yours.
That's right. And Kenichi, that is correct. So we have started, I don't know if anyone has noticed, just in the past week, collaborating with other communities, hosting some game nights, and doing some giveaways, including whitelists. So if you are with any of the communities that we partnered with, you have an opportunity to get a whitelist through them. But I mean, this is our Crown Chaser Discord. I mean, this is our main community here. This is our hub. You guys are the OGs. So obviously, we want all of you guys to be able to be involved too. So, like Antonio said, I will be running a bunch of different events, game nights, AMAs over the upcoming weeks before the mint and after the mint also. And there will be plenty of opportunities right here to get yourselves whitelisted too. So all you really need to do, stay active, keep your notifications on, and just be ready. Just be ready.
Yeah, and Spygen, don't worry. Like, come on, you are family for us, right? Like, we are rolling, we are doing all of this with the community, for the kingdom. So of course, don't worry. You're gonna have a lot of opportunities to grab your whitelist. To be honest, if someone is not able to get a whitelist in our Discord, most probably it's a skill issue, for sure.
Kill issue. Yeah, as long as you're paying attention and are somewhat available over the next couple weeks, there'll be plenty of different time slots. I will try and move things around for people in different time zones. Nicole up here stomping the kingdom now. Ever since that one loss in the beginning, Nicole has been locked in, trying to defend her honor here on on the
I am the
battlefield.
final boss.
Yeah, for real. Like Nicole, for a minute, she just went to lock it in Crown Chaser, and she just started, coming up with those royal points.
Yeah, you won a lot over the course of this year. Are you at over 300 now? You won that tournament. That gave you a big chunk of royal points too. That's awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you guys can see it. The game is real. It's actually fun. It's super engaging. It's not just one of those. How many Web3 games have you guys been a part of over the past couple of years where they do all this money, they raise tons of money for this sale and this NFT, and you're holding on to it, and you're just wondering like, what is the game? When is the game? Is there a game? I don't know. They're just saying it's coming soon. It's gonna be great, but you guys are actually looking at it right now. It's real. It exists. It's playable. We're gonna play it over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure a bunch of times. You guys are all gonna be able to get your hands on it. Get your hands dirty, start testing different strategies, different cards, seeing the synergy, getting yourselves ready for that closed alpha so that you will have a first mover's advantage and be able to defeat all the competition, win all those royal points.
yeah. And Jonah, as a way of recap, can we give just for the one that is just tuned in and very short brief about what's the next mint gonna be and what's gonna be the benefit of the royal key?
No doubt, no doubt. So, really quick recap before we sign off today. First of all, thank everyone for joining. Much love. Thanks for sticking around here. We really appreciate all of your patience, the time, the commitment, and just being a part of this kingdom that we are building here. So, big shout out to everyone for being here. You can say you were here first because you were. So we have a mint coming up. We finally can talk about the date now. April 7th. Put it in your calendars. Mark off the day. We are minting our Royal Pass. The Royal Pass is going to be your ticket to the closed alpha, which is also coming soon. Super, super soon. Just weeks away from the mint. So all you need is that Royal Pass that will get you full access to everything happening in the closed alpha. But wait, there's more. Just by holding that Royal Pass, you will be accumulating royal points. Those royal points are everything. So remember these royal points. The royal points, again, you get just by holding the pass, you'll get a daily accumulation of these royal points, but also by participating in the closed alpha phase, you are going to be playing matches. Every single time you win a match, you're going to be getting more royal points. So if you're really good at the game, if you're able to beat out the competition, you're going to get all these royal points. And at the end of the closed alpha phase, there's going to be a leaderboard. And depending on where you are on that leaderboard, with however many royal points you have, that is going to be our first ever token allocation to the community. So the higher you are up on the leaderboard, the more tokens you'll get. But no matter where you are on the leaderboard. So even if you don't have as much time to play, but you still want to participate, you still want to extract value, you still want to participate in the kingdom, you just got to have that royal pass and you will still be on that leaderboard and you will still get the token allocation.
And what about the custodians, the royal key?
So those of you who are holding on to the Royal Key, again, we did a free mint. They're still available. You can buy them. I mean, now people might be selling them because they realize what's about to happen. But if you're holding on to one of these Royal Keys or multiple Royal Keys, there is a multiplier on the amount of Royal points that you will get. So let's say you win a match and you would normally get, this is not a true calculation. I forgot. I mean, all the numbers are worked out. I don't remember exactly how the calculations are. But let's say you're holding on to like 50 Royal Keys and you win a match and you're supposed to get 10 royal points for that match. Now you might get 20 royal points for that win. That's, again, I don't know the actual calculation, but it's going to be a multiplier on the points you get. So the more royal keys you have, the even more royal points you'll get. You'll start climbing that leaderboard a little higher and getting even more of those tokens at the end.
And again, why the token is precious? That's simply done. You see that we built mods for Clash Royale. The game is similar to Clash Royale because we know very well how to do those kind of tower defense game. Now in Web 2, Clash Royale made 4 billion in revenue, giving zero, almost zero to their players back. While for us, Web3 is about winning and growing with the community. That's why for with the token holder, then gonna be revenue share, right? So if let's say again, Clash we make the same revenue as Clash Royale and nothing we can do with this community and the game that we are building, and we give away 20% back of revenue share to the token holder, we are talking about 800 million here. So there is no game in the world that has made those revenue share with their player, that their community before. And it's gonna be a time for a first time ever with a lot of teams, and I'm pretty excited to be here sharing this for the first time ever with you guys. Again, those information they're gonna be public soon in the next weeks, before the mint. Now you are among the 15 in the entire community of over 15,000 members that what's gonna happen.
Absolutely. I'm typing out right now the TLDR for those of you who just joined who want some quick information. Uh, Here it is.
What's the upcoming mint about? Yeah.
April 7th is the upcoming mint for the Royal Pass. The Royal Pass, again, gives you closed alpha access plus royal points daily. And by winning matches, you'll also get more royal points. The royal points leads to token allocation. Where however many royal points you are, you will be on this leaderboard. You'll get the token allocation. And again, if you have a royal key, that's a multiplier for your royal points. What is the engaged leaderboard for? Well, we've actually used our engaged leaderboard for a few things. Actually, Jay, just last week, we hosted a private tournament for the top 10 in our engagement leaderboard, and we were able to give the community early access to this build that we're actually playing right now. So some of the people in the chat are listening on the AMA have actually had an opportunity to play this before, and then we gave away some rewards also for those people who are high on the engagement leaderboard who won the tournament.
And also, this Ask Me Anything has been recorded, so we're gonna upload it on our YouTube channel, I guess. It's gonna be audio only. That's because the game has not been announced yet on Twitter, like the gameplay, the official gameplay. So if you are listening to this on YouTube, you are a bozo, but we still love you. Next time, be early. So instead of just listening at our voice, you can see even the gameplay and what we have been cooking up.